Hey, everybody. Good to see everybody this morning, this fine morning. And let me say hi to everybody. Got Matt on. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Matt. Happy Father's Day to everybody in, well, everywhere, but I think especially North America. I think we got it right this time. And, or I got it right this time. David Smith, hey. Garrett, hello. Frank, 51, Osman, 51. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Hi to you. Nemo Unknown, good to see you again. David Smith, already said that. All right. TBA, good morning. And let's see if there's anybody else on. All right. A, thank you, TBA. You can hear it okay. And hopefully the guitar is going to sound okay as well. Oh, I want to show you beforehand. We're going to get going on how to play major key songs, something that eludes a lot of players, and I think is more fun, honestly. I like playing major key than minor key stuff and the blues stuff, or the hard sort of blues stuff. I personally like it. Hey, Sabardia Julio, or Julio, good to see you. Thanks for coming on. So anyway, we'll get to that. But first, I want to show you something that I got yesterday. Oh, also, check it out. I have some photos up now in my room. I can't show you all of them. Oh, well. But in my office, I got it going up. So let's see. I was finally able to pick up this guitar, and this is a 2011 American Standard Strat. You can see the bridge is sort of the old form. Hey, Frank Anthony, and it's an actual Fender, 2011 American Standard. And what's interesting is you still have the shrink wrap on this. This has never been played, which sounds kind of Spinal Tap-ish, but I would play it today, but it needs a lot of work to get it in shape, which because of that, I was able to pick it up for a good price. But I do have to, I'm hoping that the neck will untwist. It's a bit twisted, and that I can get the neck untwisted and dial on the action a little bit. And the pickups sound awesome on it though, and it's super light. It's a super light guitar. I mean, it's not super light. It's probably 6.5 pounds, I'd say, but it's on the light side, which I like. Anyway, hopefully we'll be hearing this in the videos coming up. So I'm super stoked about this. Anyway, good Father's Day gift, yeah. It just happened to be that way. Let me put this back now. All right. All right. Well, here's the boring old PRS guitar, and so we'll be using this mostly today because it at least is playable. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we'll get that guitar in shape and then we'll do it. It looks like we got a lot of people here, so may as well begin. So we'll do a short lesson today, and given that it's Father's Day, I think we'll move on. So that's my second best Father's Day gift I ever got, and the first best Father's Day gift I ever got was the gift of my daughter. My daughter was born 17 years ago today, on Father's Day. How awesome was that? I was interviewed on the local TV show because we had her in a very tiny hospital. Totally cool. I was holding this little peanut in my hands, and super cute. And yeah, it's just the best. It's the best. But the Fender, the Fender's pretty good too. I got to say that. All right. Yes, and because of that, our quiz is going to be about girls' names in the titles of songs. So we'll do that. Anyway, I wanted to take you through some of this, and I thought, like I said, a lot of people are really good at doing. Oh, sorry about this. One last thing before we get started. I wanted to do a shout out to everybody who donated to the channel. Always appreciated. Never expected. Okay, I don't expect anybody to do it, but when it does, it's really, it helps me keep going. It really does, and so I always really appreciate it. So a number of you did, and a number of others did as well, and it's great. Don't feel that you ever have to, but if you ever want to, it's there. Okay. So that's that. Oh, I said one last thing, but I got one more. I'm working on a collaboration with a guy from New Zealand who does a lot of, he does some awesome Hendrix stuff. And so that's coming up too. So hopefully that'll be a little bit of a change of pace from the usual sort of lessons. All right. Okay. Anyway, but I look forward to doing that. That's probably coming up sometime in July. All right. Now on with this. So a lot of people feel very comfortable, playing minor pentatonic blues licks and so forth. And I'll move this down a little bit so it can be seen better, maybe. And yeah, and Frank, don't worry, we won't stop the lessons. We'll keep going with those. But a lot of, if you feel, comfortable with this sort of thing, geez, I don't feel comfortable today. That was terrible. That kind of stuff. Thank you very much, Geert. Really, really appreciate it. So a lot of people feel very comfortable with that, but when there's a major key, if it's sort of like a something that really calls for a major key, and playing this sort of stuff doesn't always cut it, but you might want to play a major key. What are the different ideas that you can come up with? Well, the two obvious ones are to, number one, play the major pentatonic. Now, for those of you who know this trick, this is a really old trick, and it's not the only trick, and maybe some people don't like doing this, but you can switch from minor pentatonic to major pentatonic. And the easy way of doing that is, let's say we're playing something in A major, right? And you want to go from minor pentatonic, which is this. Now that's just the first, blues box that we've got. Let me turn off the distortion so we can play this. So that's just the blues box here. Here's the first trick. Switch from playing your first finger on that A to your fourth finger on that A and play the same box. And that's the major pentatonic for A. So if you listen to this, this is the minor pentatonic. And then this is the major pentatonic. So that's one way you can do that. And you hear a lot of that comes in a lot of country style songs. Leslie West did a lot of major pentatonic stuff. A lot of Black Dog, the solo at the end is in a major pentatonic. He plays a major pentatonic on a lot of that. Yeah, it's the 3-fret trick, but the way I think you can think about it, or one way you can think about it, is to simply play from your first finger anchoring on that A to the fourth finger anchoring on that A. That's one of them. The second thing is a little more musically involved, and that is major soloing tends to be a little bit more melodic than does minor key soloing, which is very often riff based. Now, I'm not talking about B.B. King sort of stuff, but I'm talking about, Bad Company or early 70s rock tends to be more riff based and more rhythmic. So you have a lot of licks. That stuff. That kind of stuff. Whereas major soloing tends to be a lot more melodic. And because of that, using the major scale is often helpful. So instead of using the major pentatonic, we might use the actual major scale. And And that allows you to do sort of like one half-step bends. And it allows you some different notes. Yep. And Geert is mentioning that he likes to picture the major scale in the same position, and I think that's good. And I mean, I think Clapton did that a lot as well. So instead of moving the position, that's another good practice, is to say, well, say I'm here over this A, I could play the A minor pentatonic. Or I could play the A major pentatonic in the same position. Right? So Clapton often did that. And that's helpful because you're not, you know, the shifting 3 frets often sounds a little bit stilted if you're going between the two. Anyway, that's for a different day. So I want to show you just a little bit, a few examples of this. And yeah, and hybrid too. But, you know, I think David Smith saying that, hybrid. I like the hybrid scales, but I'll tell you, mostly, I think once you get comfortable with both of those, you just kind of do it by ear a lot of the time. And, you know, you can play so many of the different notes, like. You know, that kind of stuff, because it all kind of comes together. You get the Mixolydian mode in there as well, and all kinds of stuff like that. Anyway, let's do a couple of examples, and then let's call it a day. So the first example I want to do is sort of a we'll call it journey rock, maybe. I don't know. Let me see if I'll put the I'm going to put a backing track on. You can tell me if you can hear it. That would be helpful. So here's the backing track. Okay. So hopefully you can hear that okay. And it's clearly, you know, any way you want it. So let me do a short demo on that one, and I'll show you. I think Neil Schon, great player, uses the major scale on that one. It happens to be in G, so we'll do that. Let me docker up my guitar sufficiently. I think that'll do it. Okay, so let's see if I can do some semblance of a solo here. All right. So anyway, the key thing, at least for something like that, I find is a lot of, you know, there's a lot of, that one's a tough one to get rhythmically, I find, because Neil Schon's doing, you know, some different things. So it's helpful to have a theme, which is what he does have in that, sort of like the, oh, let's try and play the. You know, something like that. And you can hear it's kind of melodic, right? So I tried to go for something like that, like. And then it has that little half step bend, right? Little major pentatonic riff there. And then playing it again, basically, just repeating the theme. So major scale solos tend to have a lot more thematic stuff in them and a lot more melodic stuff. So I think that's a pretty good example. I was trying to do some of those arpeggios, trying and somewhat failing on the. then just kind of goofing around to get myself up there. It also really helps if you know the chords, which I didn't enumerate on those, but basically that one's a pretty straightforward, like a G to a D with an F bass, to an E minor, to a C. So ending on notes like this, or this, you know, are pretty cool. Anyway, so that's an example, I think, of a pretty good, I mean, personally, I think Neil Schon was one of the better melodic soloists, so I think that kind of worked. Play Motel Nevada. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll play that one after we do this, okay? I'm going to do that one, Grant. We'll do that one coming up soon. Grant is referring to a video that got taken down of mine. It gets periodically put up and taken down by the copyright holders on Hotel California. So those listeners that come in, they know we do that one quite often. And Frank, I agree. Theme from Imaginary Western is a perfect example of mostly major scale or minor major pentatonic playing. Let's go on with a different one. I want to show you sort of major pentatonic soloing or major soloing is very common in soul type playing, and so I've got another one on here. Hopefully you can hear that. Turn that up a little bit. Kind of sounds a little bit like a My Girl type of vibe. And it's got a little bit of a different part here too. It's got the whole, a little bit like the Michelle sort of chord progression here. Okay, so let's try soloing to that. And a lot of this, again, is getting into the groove. So with an R&B solo like that, double stops are going to come in a lot more. You know, that kind of, whoops. You know, that kind of stuff. And again, it really calls for I think, a good major sounding vibe. So let's give that one a shot. I'm gonna do a lot more, probably a lot more. Yeah, and maybe sixths. You're right, David. So maybe I'll try and put in a few sixths. That kind of stuff. Let's give it a shot. Etc. I was really trying to give a melodic solo with some themes in there. I was failing kind of badly, but some of it was okay, maybe. So anyway, so that was the idea, right? You have to come in and do a lot of that, but over this part right here, oops. it's interesting how you can stay in the same major scale. And if you want to hit that augmented note, it works really well. But if you don't, it works okay too. So anyway, so we've got that. And the last thing I wanted to talk through was sort of a power ballad. And this one does cry out for sort of a mix of a major and a minor pentatonic, as well as some other stuff. So let's take another look at this. So I'm going to listen to this one. Let's listen to it together for a second. It's a power rock ballad in D, and it has two parts to it. So let's listen to it. Here's the first part. Clearly a power rock ballad like in the 80s. Same thing again. Same thing again. Now it gets softer. It does something a little bit different. Does a little suspended thing here. And now back to the power ballad thing. Okay, so we'll solo over that in just a second. But what I wanted to show you is that, you know, this one is in D. So we'll use we'll do am I drawing from the scale or based on the chord that you just played? So Geert, that's a great question in terms of the sixth. I don't want to get off track of this part, but we'll come back and answer that. Okay, promise, because that's a good thing to keep in mind. And it's a little bit of both, but it's primarily the chord that I just played. All right. So what I wanted to say was that when soloing over the power stuff, I might want to throw in every once in a while a minor pentatonic lick. So that might work. But over the more mellow thing, that minor pentatonic thing is not going to work as well. So I'm going to try and stick to just the major pentatonic or the major scale on that one. All right. So you can maybe listen to what is going on. All right, so let's give this a shot, and we'll do this. So here's our power rock ballad. All right, let's see here. Ah, that one's so slow. It's hard for me to get in that groove on that one. All right. Anyway, but did you see, I hit a few really sour notes on that one. Sorry about that, folks. But did you see how in the slower part, I was trying to do more intervallic work, like that's another thing I didn't mention. In major scale soloing, you can do a lot of those pedal points and they sound good. You know, that kind of stuff sounds pretty good sometimes. You know, that can sound pretty good. But anyway, I was trying to do more intervallic work, whereas in the other one, I was trying to do big bends when it was like more power chordy. And occasionally I would throw in the, you know, that kind of blues lick that works in those power chords. So anyway, sometimes you can remember you're still a guitar player or a rock guitar player and throw that in. All right. Well, I think I'm all set for today's lesson. Somebody asked for Motel Nevada. Yeah, so we'll be doing that one for sure, but all right, I forget some of that stuff, but basically that's that. All right, enough Hotel California. All righty, or Motel Nevada. All right, so I see we've moved to talking about like Clapton as a person and so forth, and that's cool. You know, Father's Day. I didn't play any Clapton or anything like that, but it's interesting. You know, Clapton has done a couple of songs about his father and his kids, and he certainly had problems for sure. But that's what having money when you're too damn young to know what it is, and getting into drugs and abusing things. I don't know. Anyway, don't know if he's an okay guy now or if he's not so good. Can I say more about the sixth? Yes. So let me go back to that. So sixths should follow, generally speaking, sixths are great to use either in a major key or in a key where the seventh is emphasized. So let me show you the difference. So if you're emphasizing the seventh of a chord, like say you're playing, let's just play the straight major. If you're going to play sixth out of that major chord, like a major chord would be anything without that flatted seventh in it. So a C sixth, a 13th, or something like that. 13th is kind of special, but C major seventh, right, or major ninth, any of those that really have that sort of resting C resting capability. You want to follow the major scale. So watch this. So it'll be. Oops. And that works. And you'll notice the three key ones, or three of the key ones, like this one, are the same, either the seventh or the, because you're really hitting the either the seventh or the flatted seventh or the major one are the same, because here is the here's a C major triad and here's a C seventh triad. And if we're just playing sixth, which is just these two notes, they're all the same. They're all the same. Yeah, and finger notes or finger choices are you know, that's a personal thing as well. Now, if I'm playing a C seventh, it's a little bit different. I want to follow the Mixolydian scale, which is really just a major scale with a flatted seventh. That's all it is. So check it out. So instead of going up, it sounds the same. But going down, it's a little bit different. So over the major, it's this. Right? But over the seventh, it's a little bit different. It's just this flatted seventh, which is the B flat instead of the B. This is for a major, and that's for the seventh. Anyway, so I think that's you're welcome, Grant. And we'll do. I promise I'm going to do that Motel Nevada solo. I've been promising that for a long time, so that's coming up for sure. It's a matter of doing the solo and writing it down and having it close enough to the song by the band who shall be unnamed, but it's close enough for people to recognize, but not exact. Someday do a guitar lesson on second, third, fourth, and maybe fifth. Matt, do you mean intervals? Playing intervals? Seconds aren't usually played, but thirds, I've done lessons on thirds before. And I've done lessons on fourths. So fifths you don't usually hear too much as well. But I guess you could play them. This is a fifth. That's a fifth that's sometimes played. Cool stuff. All right. Hotel Cala Mexico by the Beagles. Oh, I like it. I like it. Maybe I'll do that one. Okay. Yeah, I think people always like lessons on intervals, so maybe we'll do a few more of those for sure. Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. So, yeah. So I think that's it for that one. And yeah, I'm pretty psyched. I got to tell you, I'm pretty psyched. I'm going to be working on the yeah, I think it will, Fender Man. I think I'm going to be working on trying to untwist that neck on that Fender this afternoon, because I really do love to I'm looking forward to playing that. The neck feels so good on that thing. I got to tell you, the neck feels just so good. So good. Now that I weaned myself back into Fender necks by playing the by getting that cheapo telly. You notice I'm not using the cheapo telly this week, right? It is it's a 9.5-inch radius. And yeah, I think I'm going to get that Strat out just for fun, just to get it back out again. Yeah, you're welcome, Grant. Just to get that one back out again, because we'll be working on it. I mean, it just looks fabulous, doesn't it? I just love it. Look at that thing. Look at that bridge on that. So clean. Look at, check that out. The whammy bar hole isn't even open yet. Super clean guitar. It's got the micro tilt even on this. I got to tell you, for doing the action on this guitar right now, you need the macro tilt, not the micro tilt. All right, anyway. Well, it's been a long time since I've had a Strat again. So I had a Strat in the 80s, a real Strat, American Standard, and I didn't love it, but I've grown to like Strats more now. So hopefully this will work for me. All right. But there is a chance that the neck is just too twisted, and I'll have to either put on a new neck or have the frets, the whole thing replaned and put out. And I don't know how to do that. Oh, you got a humbucker in the bridge. Yeah, so I'm excited, and we'll definitely show it to you in some of the videos when we start playing it. Tape cover spring, yeah. All right. So I thought today, since it's my daughter's birthday, Mark, I do have a custom shop, but it's not a custom shop Strat. It's a boutique guy, so it's not actually a Fender. It's a Chuck Thornton, and it is beautiful. The body on that thing is just incredible, and the nitro finish is like, if I haven't had a nitro finish guitar before, and it's just unbelievable. The neck on it's incredible. But this one's the Fiesta Red. Yeah, that's right. It's Fiesta Red, and I love it. It's got Lawler pickups in it, real good, vintage sound. The PRS neck is just as thin, but it's wider. It's a wider neck, but it's just as thin, and it's a little bit flatter. I think it's got maybe a 10-inch radius instead of 9.5. Which I thought it wasn't going to be flat enough for me, but it's fine. I don't mind it at all. I'm used to playing Gibsons, which is both the the other difference with the PRS is that it's a 25-inch scale, not 25.5-inch scale. So that makes it different. Yeah, I like it. I like the PRS. The PRS. I'll tell you, Mike, that you can pick these up on Reverb. I picked this up for $350 on Reverb, and you can find them. This is just a standard PRS 24 standard SE. It's an SE. Don't get me wrong. I like the more expensive PRSs too, but I don't have that kind of cash. I can't shell out $3,000-4,000 for a guitar, and it does have all the blingy stuff on it, right? It has the flamed tops and stuff like this. Is just a chunk of mahogany, which makes it a little bit lighter, which I kind of like actually. $350. Yeah. Look for it. Dave's Guitar Shop on Reverb. That's the one. If you look it up, you'll get it. They're the terrible customer service in terms of answering your questions, but they have great deals. Do I have any ideas about a PV hollow body? I don't know. What model? Made by World Products, is that right? Okay, I didn't know that, Embry. I know this is made in Indonesia. This is made in Indonesia, and sometimes the Indonesian guitars, if they come to the U.S., I'm sure they're great when they're there, but if they come to the U.S., they've come across on they've come through the tropics, and in some cases they've dried out. So if the wood dries out on the neck, it can give a lot of sharp fret ends. So just be aware of that. This one was good. It didn't have any. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hear you, Mark, on the noiseless pickups. I haven't heard any real good ones, except well, it's hard to tell for sure, but Tim Pierce did a video on some noiseless pickups that he thought were really, really good. So, we'll see. All right. So let's see. Yeah, that's right, David. The scale on the PRS guitar is basically halfway between Gibson, which is 24 3/4, and Fender, which is 25.5. And same with the radius, which is 10-inch instead of Gibson 12-inch and Fender 9.5, or Fender 7.25 if you have the real vintage stuff. Yep. All the Strats have sharp fret ends. Yeah, I think that can happen if it goes from low humidity or high humidity to low humidity. Here in the U.S. Northeast and the northern Midwest, I think those are probably the two worst areas, because you have the brutally humid summers and then the totally dry winters. And so I have to humidify all my guitars in the winter to make sure that they're there. Okay. Is that right, Phil? I didn't know that about Cort guitars. I had no idea. Yep. They all look good, and I've heard good stuff. I've never had one. I did play a couple of acoustics once in a guitar shop that's since closed, so they didn't move them very well. But anyway, yeah, agreed, Garrett. Okay, on to the quiz for today. Here's the quiz for today. We're gonna do, these are songs with girls' names in the title. Okay, here we go. So songs with girls' names in the title. These are probably pretty easy, but it's Father's Day. Give you the easy ones. Okay, this was a huge hit for Toto, apparently about Ms. Arquette. Huge hit for Toto about Ms. Arquette. Fenderman 73. Oh, hey, I didn't see you. Coming through with Rosanna, Robbie Love, Mike DR, David Smith, Grant says he doesn't know. Mark Siebes, Rosanna. Rosanna is the answer. Phil M, Rosanna. And not Rosanna Dana. Okay. This is a Stones song about David Bowie's wife at the time. Stones song about David Bowie's wife at the time. Angie is right. Mike DR, Fenderman. Robbie Love. David Smith, Geert, Phil M, Mark Siebes. A lot of people getting this one, as I might expect. Is that right, TBA? That's a myth? Okay, I must have mythed that. Okay. It's not about David Bowie's wife? Okay. Yeah, the intro to Angie is awesome. One of the best. Okay. I don't know if Embry's still on, but Embry, I wanted to do some theory. I wanted to actually do your borrowed chord stuff this week, but I didn't have the time to brush up. So we'll be doing borrowed chords and some more theory lessons coming up. All right, here we go. Elvis says he knows this world is killing you. Who is it killing? Elvis says that he knows this world is killing you. Who is it killing? Fenderman 73, Mike DR. Tough one, huh? I know I saw that little friend of yours let you take off that party dress. Allison, Nemo Unknown, Mark Siebes, David Smith. That's right, Elvis Costello, Allison. One of my personal favorite songs. I love that song. Okay. This is a big Boston hit from their comeback in 1986. A big Boston hit from their comeback in 1986, actually recorded 6 years prior to release. Fenderman 73, Amanda. Phil M, Amanda. Osman, maybe answering a long ago question. Mark Siebes, Amanda. Okay. A few people getting that one. Okay, here's a hard one for me. I probably would not have gotten this one. This was a follow-up hit to the mega hit Smooth by Santana. What was the follow-up hit to Smooth by Santana? Doris, no. It comes from West Side Story. Maria Maria, that's right, Fenderman. Maria Maria. Robbie coming close with one. You got half the way there. Maria Maria. You know what sucks, I think? Santana was such a great group for years and years and years and years. Their number one hit was Smooth. Give me a break, you know? They were such a great band for a long, long time, and then Smooth comes around. It's a good song, but it's not like Smooth was like the biggest hit up until that last Ed Sheeran hit or something like that. Anyway, I saw Mike DR. You said that you saw Elvis warm up for Steely Dan or open for Steely Dan. Wow, I would have thought it'd be the other way. Elvis Costello was huge. Yeah, Europa. What a great song, right? Soul Sacrifice. I mean, it's hard for me to say that was my favorite performance at Woodstock, but Santana's Soul Sacrifice at Woodstock, hard to talk about. And they get two number ones, Smooth and Maria Maria. Don't get me wrong, they're not terrible songs, but come on. All right, anyway, enough Santana-ing. Louis Shelton played the flamenco-esque solo in this Monkees song. Valerie, that's right. Louis Shelton played the flamenco-esque solo on this Monkees song, Valerie. It's actually spelled a little bit different than you guys are spelling it. Fenderman 73, Mike DR, TBA, Nemo Unknown, Phil. I didn't know that either. It's Valleri. All right. And yes, Rob Thomas was the singer on the Smooth song, but that was a Santana song. Okay. Who do the Allman Brothers say the gypsy will always come home to? Who do the Allman Brothers say the gypsy will always come home to? That's right, Fenderman 73, Melissa, Mark Siebes. Hey, ML, good to see you. Robbie Love, TBA, Nemo Unknown, David Smith. Yeah, Frank, I can tell you're lagging, or it's lagging for you. And Garrett and Stevie Ray answering a question from long ago. Is that right? Thomas wrote smooth. Okay. I like Rob Thomas. I think he's quite good. Anyway, Santana never had a #1 hit prior to that. They were close. Let's see. Okay. In 1988, the Cowboy Junkies covered this Lou Reed song. What song? In 1988, the Cowboy Junkies covered this Lou Reed song. What song? That's right. Sweet Jane. Fenderman 73. Garrett. Robbie. Nemo Unknown. Mike DR. Grant Kolb. Way to go, Grant. Matt Delahunt. Sweet Jane. Yeah, Cowboy Junkies. Cowboy Junkies did a great version of it. It's hard to argue with Lou Reed's original version, though. It's got so much soul in it. So good. The Cowboy Junkies was really good. All right. Buddy thinks this girl is pretty, 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 pretty. Buddy thinks this girl is pretty, 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 pretty. Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue. Garrett. Fenderman 73. Nemo Unknown. Matt. Phil M. David Smith. Mark Siebes. Great job. A lot of people getting that one. Okay. This girl has got Eric on his knees. Or Eric says, you got me on my knees. What girl? Mike DR coming in there. Good job. With a somewhat tricky question. Fenderman 73, Garrett, Mark Siebes, TBA 1, David Smith, Nemo Unknown. A lot of people getting it. Okay. Matt, Grant. That was a softball. Okay. Okay. How about this one? This song is not about a riverboat. Apparently, it's about a cleaning woman who quits her job. This song is not about a riverboat. Mark Siebes coming in with the answer. Awesome, dude. And Phil M. right behind him. Garrett. That's right. Proud Mary. And Matt. Matt, you're getting a lot of these today. All right. Mark Siebes, Phil, Matt, Garrett. Proud Mary. That's right. Okay. Stevie Ray getting it. So, yeah, Proud Mary. Apparently, John Fogerty, when he wrote it, he didn't have anything about a riverboat. Then somebody came in later with somebody else in the band came in with that idea. And they went with it. It's kind of cool. Like it. Okay. She's got it going on. Who? She's got it going on. Who? Who's got it going on? Jane. See, this is hard because there's a lot of girls' names sung. All right, this is Fountains of Wayne. According to Fountains of Wayne, she's got it going on. Stacy's mom, you got it, Nemo Unknown. That was a toughie, yeah. That's Stacy's mom has got it going on. All right. Okay, a lot of people getting it. Nemo Unknown at this point. Nemo Unknown, Fenderman, Phil M, Mark Siebes. Oh, you're just saying it's tough. David Smith, Matt Delahunt. Yep. So, okay. Let's see. Let's do the next one. Who does Rod Stewart tell it's late September and I really should be back at school? This is a softball. That's right, Mike, DR. Okay, see you, Frank. See you, buddy. Robbie Love, Maggie May, Mark Siebes, Phil H, Garrett, Fenderman, TBA, ML, Nemo Unknown, David Smith. Matt, you're cracking me up, buddy. That was a meatball. Yeah, you're right. That was about as big a meatball as you get. Okay, here's another meatball coming. If you call 8675309, who will answer? If you call 8675309, who will answer? Jenny, Mike DR. Good job. Phil. Fenderman 73, ML, New Unknown, Robbie Love, Ron Shack. A lot of people getting this. Mark Siebes. Okay. Let's see. How do I want to ask this question? In this song, the singer pleads, "Don't put on the red light." The singer pleads, "Don't put on the red light" in this song. Mike DR, Roxanne, Geert, Fenderman 73, Mark Siebes, Nemo Unknown, Robbie Love, Phil M, ML, Roxanne. That's right. Anybody remember the scene from Beverly Hills Cop when Eddie Murphy is singing that in his jail cell? It's kind of funny. All right. Okay, here we go. I met her in a club down in Old Soho. We drank champagne that tastes just like cherry cola. Who'd I meet? That's right, Mark. I didn't really meet her or him. Lola, Fenderman 73, Mark Siebes, Robbie Love, Mike DR, Phil M. See, I told you this was going to be easy today, right? Okay. All right. Let's see. Her hair is Harlow gold. Her lips are sweet surprise. Her hands are never cold. She's got what? Ooh. Mike DR. Getting it. That's right. Betty Davis eyes. Kim Carnes. Mike DR, Phil M, Robbie Love, Nemo Unknown, Geert, VD. Ron's always coming up with these answers. Love it. Mark Siebes, ML, same idea. David Smith. Yeah, I agree, Matt. The Kinks are underrated. I love the line in that Kim Carnes song. She's pure as New York snow. Love that line. It's great. I haven't done any Kinks. I was thinking about doing some Kinks songs. The one I really want to do is Celluloid Heroes because I love that solo on the live. I love that solo that opens it. So good. It goes from bottom to top and then bottom to top again. It does 2 times. Really great solo. All right. Back to earth here. Betty Davis eyes. We got that one. Okay. Who does Peter Criss say he hears calling? But what can he do? Who does Peter Criss say he hears calling? But what can he do? Fenderman 73, Beth. Mark Siebes, Beth. Phil M, Beth. Mike DR, Beth. ML, Beth. Hey, Gib. Good to see you. All right. That you got it right. Beth by Kiss. I'm surprised, Matt, you didn't come in on that one. All right. Bruce is asking her to jump a little higher. Bruce is asking her to jump a little higher. Rosalita, Fenderman 73, Mike DR. Oh, Roseanne, not quite. Rosalita, Robbie, Phil M. That's right. Rosalita. Mm-hmm. M. Mark Siebes. Okay. It's another one of my favorites. I love that song. I was going to put in the clue Sloppy Sue and Big Balls Billy are going to be there. Who is he trying to get out of the house? But that was a little too obscure. I agree. I love seeing Mike DR. I love seeing Bruce when he plays that song live. Love that. I love the river too. For some reason, when he plays the river live, I just love how he does that. All right. All right. Here we go. Wilson says he'll have to put her flat feet on the ground. Wilson says he'll have to put her flat feet on the ground. Who? Mark Siebes, Mustang Sally, Fenderman 73, Mustang Sandwich. Sandwich? Mustang Sally. Robbie Love. That's right. Nemo Unknown. ML. Geert. Oh, Geert got Annie. All right. Yeah, Mustang Sally. Okay, here we go. This is a hit off of Van Halen 1. Tone Loc sampled a riff from it to make Funky Cold Medina. Wicked Picket. Yeah, you got it. Jamie's Crying. That's right. Jamie's Crying. That's right. Jamie's Crying. That's actually really, really disgusting lyrics when you read them, you know, about somebody pressuring some young person to have sex. It's not too cool, like a producer or something like that. Anyway, whatever. It's still a better song than Funky Cold Medina. All right. Last question. You can get anything you want here, excepting her. You can get anything you want here, excepting her. Nemo Unknown, you got it. TBA, you got it. Fenderman 73, you got it. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant, excepting Alice. All right. That's more appropriate for Thanksgiving, I guess. But there we go. Girls' names quiz. We'll probably do about 18 more of these because there's so many girls' names quizzes or girls' names out there. Happy Thanksgiving. That's right, Robbie. That's right. So anyway, happy Father's Day to everybody. And I think I'm going to go enjoy it. It's raining like crazy here, but I think I'm going to go for a nice walk in the park or something like that. Even though it's raining, I'll put on my raincoat and we'll have some fun. I think Mike DR wins the quiz today. So Mike, if you want to put a suggestion in the comments, please put them in the comments below the video. That would be helpful. Unless you have an idea right now, even then, that's good. But you can put in a suggestion for a song, and if I can't do it, I'll do it. I'm backed up on those suggestions, so someday I'll get to them. All right. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers and all you mothers out there too. All right. I can't use that joke every time, can I? All right. We'll do that one. I do also have, like I said, I was going to do more theory coming up, and I'm going to do, I've got a Larry Carlton song coming up. So for those of you who are Larry Carlton fans, I've got a Larry Carlton song coming up. Intervals will definitely do, Ron. And yeah. Okay. Cornelius Brothers, Treat Her Like a Lady. Is that it, Mike? Is that it, Mike? I'm going to write that one down. All right. Now, yeah. All right. Well, keep in mind, I mean, I know I get that you guys like to make the things that are your favorites and so forth, the obscure ones there. It does often take me longer to do the obscure ones because I have to figure out how to do the backing track if it's appropriate, do a reasonable lesson on it. So just keep that in mind. But hey, having said that, I mean, somebody once asked me to do note for note all of Yes's song and You and I. I mean, there's just no way I'm going to do that. I'm not going to basically quit my job and spend months doing a video that probably only 2 or 3 people will watch. So just keep in mind, that as you're doing it. But of course, you should ask for your favorites, and if I can do them, I'll do them. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So great choice. All right. So we'll do that one. I got that one written down. All right. So before we knock off today, last time, yeah, I think so, Mike. Before we knocked off last time, I think somebody asked us the question, what was the biggest one-hit wonder group or song or whatever? And I think that those sorts of things would be great to have in this, to just ask, instead of sort of always having the quiz or doing the lesson, just to get together and kind of ask things like that, right? Have topics like that we can talk about. So if you have any ideas for those topics, you should list them in the, or questions for discussion that we can all talk about as a group. Can put that in there. And the reason I was doing this is because Phil, who is this fellow from New Zealand that the two of us are going to, I think he's called 15-Minute Guitar. If you can look him up on YouTube. But he's a part-time guitar teacher, real cool guy in New Zealand, and he's got this thing called the Hendrix Project, which I really liked what he did that. Anyway, we had a nice discussion. We went on for about an hour, just bringing up different topics about this and that. So I thought that, why can't we do that sort of thing here as well? So best cover. That's a great question, David. You might have been the one who brought up the question about the other. I can't remember who it was, but somebody did. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so that's a great one. Yeah. What's the best cover? What's the best cover of a Beatles song? What's the best cover of a Stones song? What's the best cover, period? That's a great question. All right. Well, anyway, gang, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I am gonna head out, and thanks for sharing some of it with me. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you on down the road. All right. Take care, everybody. Congratulations to Mike DR, and great to see you all on a Sunday.